Welcome to a new Daily Top Askreddit video. Today's topic. What is a movie ending that makes you cry, no matter how many times you've watched it before? Everyone sounds like they have been emotionally abused by Pixar. I'm 36 years old and Pixar still fucks me up every time. I remember that light-hearted movie about toys with the incredible computer graphics. Those were the good old days, when I was young and innocent. I used to think the beginning of Up was overhyped in terms of sad factor, but ever since I've actually properly fallen in love with someone, oh man, that shit hits different and entirely too hard. The Iron Giant. You stay, I go. No following. Goddamn. Superman. Can't hear him say that without tearing up. That final shot of Monsters Incorporated will always make me tear up. When Sully pokes his head in and we hear Boo say kitty. That's just such a great ending. Shit, I lose it when Mike shows Sully that he put the door back together. His hands. Man, his hands. I know it's supposed to be a throwaway joke, but dude. He went through some shit for his friend. Fox and the Hound. Copper, you're my very best friend. And you're mine too, Todd. And we'll always be friends forever. Won't we? Yeah, forever. Even just reading that got my feels going. Ending of The Green Mile is pretty upsetting when John Coffey dies. Edit. Thanks for all the awards and all of your comments, guys. This comment really blew up. I'm tired, boss. Tired of being on the road, lonely as sparrow in the rain. I'm tired of never having a buddy to be with, to tell me where we're going to, coming from, or why. Mostly, I'm tired of people being ugly to each other. That speech was devastating. The last few pages are for you, Sam. My friends, you bow to no one. Gets me every damn time. I will not say do not weep, for not all tears are an evil. Don't forget, I can't carry it for you, but I can carry you. Skidler's List, when Oscar laments about not being able to save one more person. I always cry at that part, and then later with the actual survivors mourning at his grave. And Liam Neeson placing the rose over his grave. Big Fish. Don't want to spoil it too much, but when everyone from the Dad's Tales show up at the end gets me every time. I cried so hard in the theater during that ending that I accidentally stayed through the credits till the lights came on for the cleanup crew. I was embarrassed but still sobbing, so I hid in the bathroom for another 20 minimum, just trying to get a grip on my emotions enough to go outside and meet back up with my friends. Thankfully they were waiting patiently by the car and didn't tease me too much. It's so weird when you have that kind of reaction. You're like, wow, I must have really been holding in a lot of stuff. Coco. Every single time. The scene where Miguel sings to Mama Coco is the tearjerker of the movie for sure, but I don't know why. When I saw Skeleton Coco again with her papa Hector, it absolutely broke me. Started crying like a baby in the cinema, lol. I'm literally tearing up right now and I'm sitting in urgent care waiting for X-ray results. Coco is so effective, wistful and beautifully done. The end particularly reminds me of my grandma who passed away in 2018. She had Alzheimer's, but when I would play or sing her favorite familiar songs for her, she would always perk up. She was a Holocaust survivor, and close to the end, the last thing she would say over and over before she lost the ability to speak was, "I want to go home," even though she was technically in her home. So I love to imagine her reuniting with her lost parents and siblings in the world to come. I hope she finally made it home. Edit. Thank you all so much for the love. This is my most upvoted comment and I'm so proud that it's about my grandma Eva, and Coco, of course. I wish all the best, health and happiness to you and your loved ones with every beat of my proud corazon. Edit 2. Well. I'm so moved by all of your responses, your stories and wishes. She was an incredibly clever, funny, affectionate, stubborn, charming person. Sometimes she appears in my dreams. She always looks very peaceful and says hello, sweetheart, just the way she used to greet me. So I feel like she's in a good place. Came here to say Coco. Watched it with a roommate who's charmingly flippant about almost everything. When I whispered, "So cute," during a specific flashback scene toward the end, my stoner-hearted roommate whispered back a wobbly, "Yeah." I sat down with my husband to watch Coco. I insisted, "You're going to like it. Try it, yeah right, blah, blah, blah. Not my thing. Looks gaudy, yada yada. Sit down, Get to the end, what did you think? That was yeah really good sniffle. Dunno why, but every time I watch the ending to Forrest Gump I burst into tears. For me it's when he finds out about his son and says, is he smart, or is he? I cry every single time. He was so self-aware. Oh my god, that film. For me it's when he is talking to Jenny's grave and he's so smart, Jenny. God damn it, I'm crying just thinking about the scene at Jenny's grave. Saving Private Ryan. Every time I see this movie I cry. Oh yeah, this, tell me I'm a good man. That scene gets me. I'm usually on the verge of tears, and then when he turns and asks his wife that question, I lose it. Hatchie, A Dog's Tale. I bawl from about halfway until the end. I teared up a bit watching that Futurama episode that parodies it. I bawl my eyes out at that episode also. I was at work the other week and the song that plays at the end of the episode came on the radio. I had to fight back the tears, lol. Life is beautiful. Absolutely. When the little boy watches from his hiding spot and dad does the goofy march. Oh man. I recently watched it with my teenage daughter and I started crying at the very beginning. She couldn't work out why I was so worked up about a comedy. By the end she was howling along with me. The horror and brutality through the whole movie leaves me feeling cold, numb, and depressed. Then the boy cries out Mama. At the very, very end, and the joy that mother must feel to find her child after all that brings all the buried emotions back up and out comes a fountain of tears. When the tank rolls up to town and the kid's face lights up, Jesus, that makes me wanna cry just picturing it. That movie is just masterclass writing. About Time. Edit, thanks for the awards. This movie makes me weep every time, without fail. I wish everyone had a father like Bill Nye's character in this film. Edit, thank you for the award. So kind. He's an amazing father. He's not the best one, but he'll go and spend time with his son, and that's really all that matters. Wall-E. The way it zooms out with the whole life long every damn time. Don't understand how the love story in Wall-E gets to me more than any other movie. When Eve thinks Wall-E explodes, Wall-E getting crushed and Eve screaming, and of course when he loses his memory. Damn too, Robert's love story gets to me. It's that Wall-E spent his whole life alone before meeting Eve, and meeting her opened up this whole new world full of brand new experiences and feelings for him. Same with Eve, she never considered anything could be more important than her job until she met him. It's such a perfect representation of love. Meeting the one you truly love does change your entire world like that. They have so much to lose if they lose each other, so you feel it when they think they have. And that he just wants to be close to her and hold her hand. It's so innocent and beautiful. Gets me right in the feels. Inside Out, the scene when Riley comes home at the end always gets me. Goddamn that Bing Bong scene. I gasped out loud in the cinema when Bing Bong jumped off the cart. I'm 28 years old. The first time I watched this was on a plane. There is a phenomenon where people are more emotional when flying alone. It was not pretty. I can't imagine what other people were thinking watching me cry to a cartoon. Edit, here is why we cry on planes. The Land Before Time. When I first saw it as a kid, it was the first time that I realized that my parents could die. That thought had never even really occurred to me at that point. Even now as an adult, the scene where he thinks he sees her but it's just his shadow and the narrator says, then Littlefoot knew for certain he was alone. Still gets to me every single time. I'm sure that movie will make me cry even more after my mom passes because one of her nicknames for me is Littlefoot. Steel Magnolias. When they are all in the cemetery and Sally Field totally breaks down. She says something like, I'm so mad I want to hit something, and they say hit Weezer, and it's this moment where you laugh but tears are streaming down your face. Edit, wow. Thanks for the gold, kind Redditor. We all need some laughter through tears sometimes. Now everyone go and watch IT. Happy Sunday. Edit 2, Boozer is the correct spelling. Thanks for the correction, fellow Redditor. We'll sell t-shirts. I hit Weezer Budrow sobbing and laughing intensifies. Every time. What Dreams May Come. Ikaru. WDMC is a film about a man, Robin Williams, who dies and goes to heaven. His wife dies some time later and is sent to hell. He decides to find her. Ikaru is about a civil servant, Takashi Shimura, coming to terms with his own impending death, then accounts of his life at the funeral. Came here to say this. So many scenes in this movie. True love. The scene where he just sits and decides to stay with her. He can't see without his glasses. And I sob. Etta, the name of the movie is My Girl, 1991. I was 9 to 10 when this movie came out. The trailers made it look like a fun family movie. Then the kid dies and that funeral scene. Goddamn, that was rough.